What's good, y'all? I'm J The Protagonist. I'm your baby mama favorite rapper. And I'm plugged in here with KlueDaDon, man, and it's Kountry Fan Mail Podcast, dog. What it is? What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy KlueDaDon, Kountry Fan Mail Podcast, Season 5, Episode 4, I think. Episode 4, maybe 5. Anyways, charge to the game. But as y'all see, I'm here with the homie, J The Protagonist, coming in from Japan. What's good, G?
Hey, good, man. I'm chilling. Happy to be on the show, man.
Already, man. Man, oh, for real, man. I appreciate your patience, man. I feel like, man, it was crazy, you know, trying to coordinate getting you on here. Because as y'all heard, he's in actually, man, shit. You tell him where you at, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm originally from the DMV, but I'm out here in Tokyo now doing my thing, rapping. I'm the best one out here. I got homies, and they the only ones out here who can hang with me. So, yeah, man, we out here doing our thing, man. We like really live and breathe this shit. I got sound check right after this. I had a show last night. I got another show tonight. So we just been running it up, man. We just decided to come out here, just like dedicate our life to this shit, man. Pass or fail, you know, it's sink or swim. So that's what we doing out here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So before we get into all that, because we definitely gonna dive into that, man. I gotta ask you, what was the first song that you listened to when you woke up this morning?
Okay. I saw you ask somebody else this on. So this is like you ask this all the time, huh?
I ask everybody this question, man.
All right. Usually the first song I listen to when I wake up is definitely a Juice WRLD song. So you could damn near take your pick, but I would say if I like go back on my YouTube, it's probably Juice WRLD, Wishing Well. You know that song?
I think I've heard it before.
That's the joint. That's the video and the joint he dropped right after he died, and it really struck a chord. He's like singing about taking drugs and overdosing, and then he actually overdosed and shit.
That's what that shit happens. Like, it happens way too often. I feel like the same thing happened with Mac Miller. You know what I'm saying? That track that he had, I can't think of the one, but he was in the casket. Like, it started off, he was in the casket or whatever, and he was kind of, you know, and literally like, what was it? A couple months later, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was gone. So like, man, that's crazy, man. Definitely, you know, RP to Juice WRLD. You know, I feel like I hated that I didn't really get super into his music until after he passed. And I mean, I feel like that's kind of like the story.
Same with me.
You know, it's like, you know, a lot of people say, you know, with Nipsey, like I fucked with Nipsey, like Victory Lap was my shit, but I didn't know Slauson Boy. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, Blue Laces and all that shit. I didn't know that until after he passed, and I started diving deeper into his music. But yeah,
he was in this movie that I used to watch. I didn't know it was him at the time. Then when he passed, I was like, oh shit, that's Nipsey. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the joint with Ving Rhames and it's him, and they husband, father and son, and they in jail together and shit.
I don't think I've seen the name of that joint. At least I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it was Nipsey.
Yeah, I wasn't really hip to Nipsey like that. But yeah, Juice WRLD, I wasn't really on him until he passed either. Like, you know how you just like you see a rapper, like any rapper, you can name any of them, and you just see them and you kind of feel like if you ain't heard them, if you don't know about them, they must be trash. So you just kind of write them off like that. Kind of judge them by their cover. But no, Juice WRLD deep, man. I listen to him like every day. Him and Tupac, really the only people I listen to on a daily basis.
For sure. Okay. So yeah, so kind of getting a little bit more into that, you know, talking about, I'll say kind of diving into the part where I like to get into like the artists and y'all's mindset behind, you know, so when y'all make the music, when y'all write and stuff like that. So kind of going all the way back, like when was the first time that you kind of you remember picking up a pen?
Damn. Hey, I never told this story before, but I'll tell it. I was like 6, 7, one of them ages where it's super young and you can talk, but you sound stupid when you talk. I was with my father and we was in the basement and he had like a microphone set up. I was like, Dad, I want to be a rapper. I was so young. I don't even remember why I said that shit because I don't even think I was listening to rap at the time. But he played a beat and he was like, all right, go ahead, rap. So I went to my room and I like wrote a little something. And I think it went something like, come on, rap. Come on, rap. Come on. All I said was, come on, rap. Come on, rap. Come on, rap for like 10 minutes straight. My dad actually sat down and listened to it and let me sit down and record it for a minute. He probably don't even remember that joint. But yeah, that's when I actually picked up a pen for real. And then the time after that, I got a little older and I started like trying to actually sit down and write lyrics and shit. And I don't know if you got older siblings, But my brother, he saw me writing, and he like took the paper and like ran away with it and started reading it out loud and shit. And it was all cringy and shit. Made me not want to do that shit never again. So after that, I didn't pick up a pen to write like raps until like I was like damn near 20 or some shit after that. So, but yeah, that's when I started for real.
Okay,
That's really
all right.
when I started.
So you mentioned growing up in the DMV, and that's kind of like my second home. I'm from Charlotte originally, but my dad, he's born in DC. You know, whole family up there. Shit like that. I lived out there for a while. I graduated Annandale High School.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm definitely tapped in with the area. But so like who are some of the people that you kind of looked up to musically? You know, what I'm saying, coming up in that area, because I feel like the thing about DC, like, you know, DC, Detroit, Chicago, Maryland, you know what I mean, Baltimore, they all have these like very central exclusive pockets of music. Like they weren't
niche shit.
Go-Go's nowhere else. You
Right,
know?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Go-Go was probably is like it's just like background noise, you know what I'm saying? So like when it comes to like artists from the DMV, like that are actually on, like I really can't think of nobody. Like, can you think of anybody from the DMV? Because all I can think of is Wale, and that's really fucking it. Because like I said,
Goldlink.
Oh, see, I don't even know. I'm not tapped in like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I might have to put you on Goldlink. Yeah. Dude, so, you got Shy Glizzy.
Oh yeah, I fuck with Shy Glizzy. Yeah.
That's from DMV. I mean Maya's from DMV, but I mean that's a, you know, it's an R&B singer or whatever, so that's a little different. But I can't really think of too many other rappers.
Yeah,
I mean, I might not be necessarily be too tapped in, but it's like I feel what you're saying 100%. I mean, like,
I feel like it's
like coming up though, like I mean, like was like maybe even outside of hip hop, like, you know what I'm saying, who were like maybe some other influences that you had?
You mean like just from the DMV area or just in general?
Nah, you know, I'll just say all around.
Influences that I had, motherfucking Stevie Wonder was probably the first. Cause like my dad had like the Stevie Wonder greatest hits, like I remember the purple CD, purple disc. And it was just sitting on the car floor. And it was like a double, it was like the greatest hits. So it was like disc 1 and disc 2. And I used to just bump that joint constantly. Cause at that point you just listen to whatever was around. So I remember bumping that joint. And funnily enough, he passed recently. I used to bump Aaron Carter, of all people, back when he was like a kid and he was popping.
Word.
And yeah. Aaron Carter, Stevie Wonder.
I couldn't remember shit about Aaron Carter when he died. I was like,
yeah, he was tough though. He was tough. He had some tough music. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll defend him. I'll defend him forever. Yeah, Aaron Carter used to go in before I knew what hip hop was. he was like a nice little gateway into it, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't say he was an inspiration, but he was just one of the first people I listened to. But like when I first got into it for real, 50 Cent's The Massacre, that's when I really got into hip hop like that. I used to bump that joint nonstop.
That was a
Motherfucker Massacre. Yeah, Hated to Love It. I was like, oh shit, this like the best song
that was
ever.
a Hated to Love It track. Yeah.
I think it was. That whole the game, and then the remix, man, and then the video. I was like, oh shit, I'm trying to be a rapper, man. That shit cool. That shit tough.
I ain't gonna lie though, that video, I remember that video verbatim, and like I ain't never in my life wanted to go to New York, but 50 Cent made it look cool, and I really didn't give a damn about moving to Cali. I live in Cali now, which is crazy, but I never give a damn about going to Cali until I seen it, and it was just like I remember like. I like that. I mean, just that whole track, and then they was on the jet and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. That video was very.
And the whole filter was like real sunny and bright. I can't even really describe it. It was tough. It was like something I never seen before.
Yeah, I don't think I really ever seen any other videos like that for real.
It was like gritty and like optimistic as well. Yeah, it's tough.
And but I feel like it was crazy about that song though. Is like they were talking some real shit, like. You know what I'm saying? Like if growing up confused, my mama kissing a girl, like
what?
What? Like the first few lines, you know, and then fucking the game, talking about his you know, little brother Rod got him killed for his forces, some shit like that.
Yeah,
somebody get took for their forces.
Yeah.
But
he was like no school books. They use that wood to build coffins. I was like, oh shit. I had to go back and tell my mom that joint. She was like, what is you listening to? I was like, hey.
Real shit, mama. Don't worry about it. Yeah, sure.
Uh,
So I'm glad you actually brought that up. So like, yeah, tell me more about like your upbringing. You know, what I'm saying, kind of like, were you raised with both your mom and your dad? Was it kind of
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, I was raised with both my parents. They stayed married, which was odd because most of my, that's an oddity, and I didn't realize it was so. I was so fortunate, in that aspect. You know, my parents were together and they were married, but they didn't quite get along the best, so they would fight a lot. But my dad was still home, and when he wasn't home, he was working, so he was always coming home. So he was there. I think having a father figure, I would have been gone. I was a real knucklehead, so I'm glad I had my father because like I would have been, I almost went left anyway, like
for
even with a
sure.
father, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm glad I was fortunate. I had my father. He was there. He wasn't always home, and when I was growing up, I wasn't really super close with him because he always worked. But he taught me everything he's supposed to do. He told me how to swim, told me how to drive, told me not to be dumb. I remember when I was young, I used to carry around a pocket knife in case niggas try you or something like that, something like that. And I told him just thinking it was just a
I still
casual
carry it.
conversation. Right, yeah. But I was a kid, I was like in high school and shit. So he was like, yeah, you could. He was like, yeah, you black, you can't just be carrying around a knife and shit. You got. I think he took it. I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, and he just, he did everything a father's supposed to do. So
For,
I was real fortunate with that shit. And my
all
grow,
right.
my upbringing was cool. My parents were always real supportive, real they weren't like how a lot of parents like tyrants, like it's my way or the highway type shit. My parents were always real open, the things were open for discussion. We're able to talk about shit. I was able to voice my opinion, so I always felt heard, which is why I'm able to, speak my mind now. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really played an important role. And
For
yeah, I
sure.
was fortunate to have both my parents.
All right.
They might not have been great for each other, but they were great for me. you know.
I like that because yeah. I feel like there's so many different, what I'm saying, mixed versions and blended families, and what I'm saying, and I feel like everybody's story is so different, and what I'm saying, but to be able to really look at it, and what I'm saying, to see that everything wasn't perfect, but to understand that it was your situation and it was good for you, like that takes a lot of, what I'm saying, introspection for real, and
Yeah, like
that's
we
something
sat
that I've
down.
noticed. I'm sorry.
My bad, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I was saying like, yeah, we would sit down and have like dinner every night and shit. And I didn't realize how important that was. We would do that shit every night.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a big ass deal, man. But
yeah.
I feel like though the reason those things are being done, maybe not even for you to realize it right then, but it's for you to realize it later, which is right now. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Kind of the
Yeah.
saying, to be able to put it back for sure. And I hear a lot of that in your music. I feel like there was a one track, I think it was violins.
Mm-hmm.
That track I actually had to run back like 4 or 5 times because like
Thanks, man.
you was talking your shit on that track. And it was really like, for one, what I really fuck with is that a lot of the production, what's his name, Ghost,
Ghost Pops.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I fuck with it, the production, because it's like it's hella chill, and sometimes even your rhyme scheme, or more so your attitude and the lyrics, doesn't fit the beat, but it doesn't kill it though. If that makes sense. Like the beat
Yeah,
will
I
be
feel you
like
on
some
that.
real chill shit, and you might be like, nah, fucking, I'm gonna hit him with some bars anyways.
Yeah,
It's
got
kind of
you. Got you.
for sure. Like so like tell me about like your mindset behind, saying, like when you're writing an introspective piece versus when you're writing that joint that y'all did in the club where y'all performed it, and you had, and like the homies was with you, whatever. I can't think of the,
Uh-huh.
the track. But
We
yeah,
do
y'all
that
killed
shit
it
all
though.
the
Yeah,
time. So yeah, it could be anything.
yeah. For sure.
Be out here. But when it comes to writing, it's crazy. Uh, it's not really like that. I remember my girl chilling over here. I remember one day she hit me. She was like, "Can you write?" Because I sing a little bit. She was like, "Can you write like a love song or something like that?" And I was trying to explain to her, it's really not like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit down with the intention of writing something in particular. At least I don't.
Mm.
I just write whatever comes out, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not really. I don't write with the intention. I just write a lot, and then when it's time to record in the studio, I literally just hit a beat, go through all my notes, and just pick something that goes, and I just like put it together like a puzzle. So
Okay.
yeah. So it can always be different. It's always spontaneous, like in the spur of the moment.
So I'm
like when I wrote. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, please go ahead.
Yeah, so when I wrote violin, damn, I wrote that was one like that was probably like the third song I ever did, and I was like still learning and shit. So I didn't really when I wrote that joint, I remember wanting to make it like sad and shit and like make it honest, cause a lot of rappers be capping. So I just wanted to make it real honest and real make it really hit home and shit. But as long as you focus on shit like that, as long as you focus on that, I think whatever comes out is gonna be raw. And if you dope, like I'm at this point where I already know I'm dope, so whatever comes out is gonna be dope. So it don't even matter, you know.
So one of the other consistencies that I heard in a lot of your tracks was that I don't know if it's necessarily this in particular, and it might just be me and my thinking, but one of the things that I kept on hearing is kind of like you have like this you kind of go through this struggle with yourself, and sometimes it's a struggle with kind of like yourself and between self-destruction, like you mentioned alcohol, you know what I'm saying, you mentioned other things like that. So like yeah, like so kind of if you want to, you know what I'm saying, you know, we don't got to if you don't want to, but like it's kind of what you kind of explain that paradox, because it's hard to say that it's a dope paradox because it's not it's not anything good, but at the same time I understand it, like on a personal level I understand it. So I just kind of want you to kind of dive into that if you don't mind.
I see. Yeah, I don't mind answering the question because I don't get asked. It's rare that I get these real thought provoking questions. So I appreciate you asking. So it's all good. I'm an open book when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, when I rap and I'm talking about like liquor and whatever vice could be whatever. But I think I ended up talking about drinking and just liquor in general way more than I thought I did. I didn't even notice until like kind of you just pointed it out just now, for real. But yeah, it's crazy. Since I'm in Japan, I mean you can't really smoke weed out here, so you need a vice. And I'm a man that needs a vice, you know what I'm saying? I can't just be sober. Can't just be out here sober for nothing, you know what I'm saying? And especially the life, like I'm trying to be an artist. So you in a club setting or you in the studio, you might drink a little something before. And the culture in Japan, it's legal. You could just walk around and drink in the street.
Oh, I know too well, man. I lived in Masawa for 2 years. I was in the military.
Shit.
I was in the Amoy prefecture for a couple years.
Oh shit! All right, so yeah, you hit.
It's love, man. Yeah, I was actually there. I got there in December, and the earthquake and tsunami happened in March. The big one back in 2011.
So, were you there for that? You were there for that?
Oh yeah, I was there. I did trips all the way down, going to Sendai, going to Noda, Hachinoe. Like we was going everywhere, helping out, shit like that. But yes, I would try to cut you off, but yeah, I definitely understand. Like Japan is it's a different place. The drinking age, I got out there when I was 19. I was just like, dang. And I turned 20. They was just like, oh, you gonna be drink? I was like, what you mean 20? It was a drinking age of 20. I was like, oh shit. So so like I feel it, you know what I'm saying? They always said there was like when the airmen come out here, you either find love, they say you find love, you find God, or you find the bottle.
Hey, and I found that motherfucking bottle, man. I found love, but I also found that bottle quick as hell, man. Shit crazy. I remember I was at it's like, it's like culturally acceptable to go out drinking with your coworkers. You gotta do it at least once. I don't do it no more because it's too much. But I remember drinking with my coworkers one time and just throwing up immediately. Like it was terrible. I was so hungover. I was like, man, I'm never gonna drink again. And cut to 4 or 5 years later, I'm like not even a lightweight no more. I remember when I left Japan, I was a lightweight. My friends used to clown me because I would be the dude passed out in the corner, some shit somewhere. But now it's just like woo, 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 woo. And it's not proud of it, but it's just what it is. And it's like you gotta recognize it.
Oh yeah, we definitely went through those phases, man. I used to remember we used to go off base. There was this spot called Nitrous, and we used to go there, and they used to have what they call chuhas. And we would go in there. It was a Thirsty Thursday. Get the little chew eyes. I think it was like 500 yen or something like that or something. It was something stupid like bet. So we were just like, I mean, just getting fucked up, man. That's a crazy time.
I got a good little story about the shoe house, man. I was in a place called Shinokubo, and I was drinking the shoe house, and that's like when I first got to Japan. And I didn't know it was liquor in it. I didn't, because it tasted like just juice, straight up juice.
It's like juice, yeah.
And I was like, did the waitress not hear me? Maybe she didn't understand. Maybe she thought I wanted juice. And I was throwing them back, and it did not hit me. I didn't feel drunk. It was really weird because I didn't feel drunk at all. But when I got up to stand, I couldn't walk straight, and it was alarming because I didn't feel drunk. I just couldn't walk. I just didn't have the ability to keep my balance. I thought I was having like a stroke or some shit outside randomly. I thought I was about to die. And I was with some girl and some other girl, and I was trying to be cool, but I like couldn't walk. So I was like, let me just sit the fuck down over here.
I did the second, yep.
Oh man, it was crazy, man. That was a terrible time. I was terrified. But turns out, then she was like, "Oh, did you drink too much?" I was like, "They was looking at that shit." She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense now."
Started thinking you got poison or some shit.
Yeah, roofied or something. I thought it was gonna be the Hangover 4 out of this joint.
So tell me more about like the not to not to take anything away from the channel that you were tapped in with. You kind of asked you about how it is the Black experience in Japan. So I want to ask you that generic ass question, especially since I was there on a military, capacity. So it was a little bit, but it was a little bit different. It's like I didn't live like amongst it, like in the city and stuff like that. Like, well, I kind of didn't, but it was like near a military base and stuff like that. So I feel like the people that are around the base, they're a lot more used to us versus
that's probably
living in the city, right? So it's like out to kind of remix that question tonight, to not take off, because I'm gonna make sure I plug that I'm gonna plug that interview that you did with a homie in this. So I want to take away from that question, but how is the hip hop scene being Black in Japan? And I'm not sure if there is a language barrier, because I'm not sure if you do speak Japanese or not, but like, how is that? Like, how is kind of maneuvering through that area?
Yeah, it's not one of those things you think about, because when I came here, it was just I'm gonna focus on rapping and I say what I say. I mean, it's not like you can do anything about the language barrier, because like you and it's not like I'm not gonna perform, because I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna say whatever. So regardless, so the thing about music is music you can just tap in. It's like I don't know if you're an anime fan, but music is like chocolate. You know what I'm saying? So as long as it connects and they feel it, it's all good. As long as they vibe with it, it's straight.
That's a fact.
And a lot of it's a hip hop like Japanese. It's a lot of Japanese rappers out here.
Japanese hip hop is shit.
Yeah, and they be running it up, and they be out there.
But
but yeah, it's definitely an audience for it. And Tokyo's small, and the Black community is small, and the hip hop community even smaller. So everybody kind of know everybody. Everybody's kind of tapped in. So we've done shows where we've done plenty of, it's mostly shows with like just a Japanese audience. And sometimes they don't vibe with it. Sometimes you can tell they don't know what you're saying. But as long as you jump around, you throwing a whole bunch of yeah, and just really get into it. They get into it too. Yeah. So, but I noticed that it really just depends on one thing. Like if the crowd is sitting down, they're not gonna fuck with you. You gotta get them up out their chairs and shit. So if you do a show and it's like one time we played a club in Roppongi, it's a real fancy place, and water was like $10 and shit, and it was like everybody dressed in suits. They brought their best girl out. They like sitting down at a table chilling, and then we get up there with our nigga shit talking about fuck this, fuck that, and it was like a bunch of us because I'm also in a group. We're called the Hilt, and we're like a collective like Wu-Tang shit like that, but we also do our separate shit on the side. Yeah, so I was doing a show with them.
I asked you about that too, because I realized like go ahead.
Yeah, we can get back to that. We can circle back. But yeah, we was doing that shit, and we just decided to, like, if we there, we gotta get real Black with it, real ignorant with it. So we just got on stage, did our thing. But they were sitting down, and you could tell like some of the girls wanted to dance, and you could tell like that dudes they was with wasn't really trying to fuck with us like that. So you can kind of see the hate, or like just the you know how people are. If they don't, especially dudes ain't gonna be like, man, this dude, they're gonna get quiet and they're just gonna like stare at you blank face. Mm-hmm. So there's some of that, but most of the time that doesn't happen. And usually that's a good thing, because if they just standing if they just standing there, you already know you're doing something well. You know what I'm saying? Because if they hating on you, you're doing all right. You know.
For sure. That makes perfect sense, because I feel like there's a lot of performances that I've been to, say whether it be like concerts or whether it just be like something small, kind of intimate or whatever, and it's like I feel like there's been artists that I'll hear their shit and I'll be a fan of, but then I go see them perform and I'll be like, do y'all even want to be here? It's like y'all
Yeah,
ain't putting on no type of show, ain't got no charisma, ain't got nothing. Like I'd rather have an artist, whether it be a rapper or a singer, get out there and be moving and dancing so hard that I could barely actually hear them. Because
right,
you
right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? Because but I know that they're actually trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
feel like that's a big difference. And that's a lot of the chemistry that I seen like with some of the videos that I saw, you know what I'm saying, with you and your homies. And like I can't remember that one guy. He okay, I wish I remember his name, but he did the chorus to the song where he was singing, and I mean when I tell you that dude was so excited in that video, like he was hyped, like he was really hyped, and I fucked with it, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah,
throughout the
appreciate
whole
that,
thing,
man.
even while y'all was doing y'all's verse, he was over there like, I know y'all see this shit. I know y'all see this shit, you know what I'm saying? So tell me more about about the collective and kind of like what
Yeah,
y'all do for each other and what y'all mean to each
yeah, I've been dying to talk about this shit, man. So,
other.
yeah, so the thing is, we try to keep the group shit separate from our solo shit, so I never get a chance to talk about it as much as I want to. But basically, we're called the Hilt, like the sort of a Hilt, and there's seven of us. There's six black dudes, one Japanese dude, and I'm actually the last member to join, but they was already my homies, and we all do our separate thing, but we all come together to make music and do these shows and shit. Cause when when you organized and you move together, you know you make way more of an impact. And they actually, when I first joined them, they kind of like really put me through my paces, man. Because I joined them probably at the beginning of this year, and then they
Okay.
just like, so they just had me up on stage doing shows nonstop. And I before I didn't know how to breathe on stage, so I'd be up there like, yeah, 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 damn, they about to pass out, screaming my lungs off, and you don't know it when you like if you don't perform like you don't know. Sometimes the mic is bad, sometimes the mic is muddy, so they can't hear you so well.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't. So you up there screaming, trying to get your lyrics
Trying to
out, and you about to.
overcompensate, yeah.
Yeah, right, right, right. So I had to learn how to breathe. I had to learn how to move on stage and not be so reserved and shit like that. So they really put me through my paces, man. We do so many shows. I don't lost count how many times we been on stage with them. And we always rap together. We always freestyle together. It's like all we do. It's crazy. It's like literally all we do, and that's what I love about it, man. It's so crazy, and they all talented. They all dope. They probably the only other people in Tokyo that can fuck with me, give me a challenge. You know what I'm saying? But
That's what's
yeah,
up.
the Hilt is dope, man. Shout out to the Hilt, man. And yeah, we ain't from here, but we out here, dog. We out here. I swear we out here. Y'all got to give us a listen, man. Man, man, yeah, the
Go
Hilt.
ahead, please plug it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's seven of them. I'm about to shout them out real quick. So it's me. I'm J the Protagonist. We got Monsieur Giovanni. We got A Valley. We got Crafty Kid. We got J Rovia. And we got MJ the Sensei. And we also got a Japanese dude named Neku. And we the truth, man. We like the only ones out here in Tokyo doing it like this. Nobody fucking with us, man. We do a show and we get hella love. And we just really in our what's the word? Really hitting our stride, man. We out here. It's crazy. It's
Yeah, I
ridiculous,
fuck with that.
I
I
like
fuck
they like my bad. I mean to keep
with that.
rambling and shit. But yeah, I think I like they like to be really humble with it, but I like to talk my shit. So when I get on stage, I like to like really I make sure to say something memorable, so they remember me. So I get on stage and be like, "Yo, I'm the best rapper in Tokyo, regardless. I know y'all gonna hate, but listen to this shit anyway." You know what I'm saying? And they not really on the braggadocio type thing like that. So I like to take it upon myself to do that on our behalf as a group, man. So I'm glad that you asked me because I never get to talk about it as much as this. So
Oh no, for
appreciate
sure. I
it.
feel like you gotta talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody the best. I think I literally just said it in another interview I did. Shout out to Medina and the Stu Court. I think I was literally just saying it about them. I was like, if everybody in your group sound the same and do the same thing and has the same personality and do all this shit, that's a boring ass group. Like
Yeah, right.
there needs to be somebody that's just. I mean, look at Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I'm saying? Like all the different personalities, different. You got the grimy street motherfuckers. You got the motherfuckers who's just braggadocious over the top. You got the people that's gonna do everything in the background. You got the people that's gonna is making plays with the money. You got the people that's bringing in the money. You know, what I'm saying, like you got everybody kind of doing their own thing. So it's like.
Yeah.
I fuck with it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, if everybody's on stage being like, I'm the best, and if you don't believe it, your baby mama do. It's like who should I believe? But,
Right.
but at the same time, everybody in the crew is still dope. It don't really matter because the baby mama still want on your motherfucker. So I feel like
Right,
everybody
exactly.
eating, everybody eating, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure, I fuck with that, man. I definitely fuck with that, man. So bringing it kind of bringing it full circle, man. So like one of the things that I like to do, and I feel like this probably actually hits home a little bit different for me because I wish I kind of had an opportunity. I mean, we talking about shit 11 years ago at this point, but I wish I kind of had like maybe technology would have been a little different. But I know when I was out in Japan and shit, like I didn't really have that opportunity to tap back in home and tap back in with the culture and talking shit like that, or
Right.
really even just to have a mental health check. So like what I really like to
Yeah.
do is just like for real, like how are you doing?
Man, I appreciate that, dog. It's tough. I ain't even gonna lie. It's motherfucking tough. Cause like the work culture, you've been here, so I'm sure you know how it is. Like people jump in front of trains every other day. Train get
Yeah.
delayed because somebody having a bad day and shit. You know, so it's important to make sure your life around work is a life worth living. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And luckily I've been able to carve. Like I'm not where I want to be. Like the thing is, I'm making music every day. I'm doing these shows, and I like in my head I already feel famous. You know what I'm saying? I already feel like I'm there. The only difference is I'm not rich. I ain't got my pockets. My pockets ain't up yet. You know what I'm saying? But we
Yeah.
gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm doing what I love. There's nothing else I would rather be doing. So that's like I take it as a win. I know I'm like the like just the grind, everyday grind to the top is hard, but I'm literally doing everything in my power to get there. So it's tough, but it's definitely worth it. So I could say I'm doing good. I'm definitely doing good. You know,
For
yeah.
sure, man.
I,
For sure.
I appreciate that question too, man.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate your honesty, man. I feel like, I'm saying so many times, you get asked that question and passing, like, oh, how you doing? I'm good. How you doing? I'm good. Like by the time you even get a chance to respond, the person that asked you 10 paces behind you because they really didn't
Asking
give a
asking the next person how they doing.
exactly, because they really
Yeah,
just don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So like, I did an experiment one day that every time somebody was just like, hey, how you doing? I would actually stop walking and look at them and be like, well, actually, I'm, and I would see who actually was gonna stop walk, like who was going, and literally every single person like was caught off guard that I stopped walking. They're just like, oh
I
shit,
fuck
he
with that.
actually wants to tell
Yeah,
me how he's doing. So I feel like it just kind of helps people be like, for one, don't ask questions you don't really want to know the answer to, and
yeah,
secondly, sometimes asking somebody that question and listening to their response, even if you can do anything about it or not, could be what that person really needed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Because all artists really want us to be heard. I think J Cole said that shit. All artists want to be heard. So if you ask an artist how they doing, you should probably listen. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask us if you don't want to know. You
You
know.
know what I'm saying? Like, don't ask if you don't want to know. I fuck with that, man. So yeah,
Mm.
man. So last thing, if you had an opportunity, actually second to last thing, if you had an opportunity to get a message out to everybody in the world at one point in one way, like text message, fucking smoke signal, whatever the fuck, everybody read it at the same time, what would it say?
I would say I'm gonna keep it strictly music based, but I would say this, man. If you a rapper, right? If you want to be an artist and you got a dream to do it, you know what I'm saying? I would say the first thing, the most important thing you gotta do is tell motherfuckers. You can't be rapping in your room by yourself, telling one or two people. You gotta feel that shit. You gotta believe it yourself, and then you gotta let other people believe it. You know what I'm saying? Cause the only reason I met my producer was cause I told two homies in a coffee shop one day that I rap, and then my homie he don't rap enough, and he just happened to know a guy.
Yeah,
We were sitting in a coffee shop, right? And we failed. We had taken a test to get a raise in salary and shit. I failed the shit. I knew I failed the shit. So we was in the coffee shop talking and shit. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm trying to rap. It'd be cool if I could like meet a producer, make some music, maybe shoot a video out here before I go home and shit. He was like, oh shit, I got a producer in Koenji. You can probably just hit him up and shit like that.
yeah,
And then that's how I met Ghost Pops, man. And Ghost Pops has made all my music. Ghost Pops has given me free studio time. Ghost Pops has been my mentor, helped me write, sent me home with my rounds with shit. He really like put me through my paces, man. He is crazy. And it all happened from that one conversation, that one passing comment that I almost didn't fucking say. You know what I'm saying? So my one
for sure.
message would be fucking tell people if you got something you want to do, you gotta go for it, and you can't be scared. You can't play scared. You gotta let people know, and you can't be shy about it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get there. You gotta get out there. That would be my message, most definitely.
I fuck with that, man. I definitely fuck with that. I feel like that's something that I struggle with a little bit. I still kind of struggle with. I feel like when we out and about, like my wife be the main person to be like, he has a podcast. Like I be chilling, but she always, but it reminds me, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the only way people gonna know. That's
why I plugged my channel on on being black in Japan. I remember I was reading the comments under that joint, and it was saying how this dude is so ignorant. He's a teacher, but he gonna plug his rap career and shit like that. I'm like, who the fuck else gonna do this shit? The fuck else am I supposed to do, motherfucker? You don't know shit. You don't know nothing. You can tell they don't got no type of dream aspirations, because how do you not get that? You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't.
That's literally how I saw it. I was just like, I mean, shit. Like I was like, hey, I thought that was fucking perfect. That's what made me want to look it up. But I was just like, hey, if I'm doing some shit like, that's like, I don't know. I can't even think of another scenario, but I feel like if there was an opportunity for me to be somewhere, like if I ever get interviewed by someone, that's not me not saying I'm not gonna mention that I have a podcast. Like that's fucking weird. Like you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I'm trying to make it.
Yeah.
People man, so yeah, man. So I really appreciate you tapping in, man. Like it's been a really dope interview, man. Like really, really dope exchange. And I want everybody to like really get an opportunity to tap in with your music. And something else that I actually meant to bring up, and I'm so glad that I didn't hang up before we brought this up. I've been seeing your cartoons.
Yeah.
I be cracking the fuck up. That one with the for what it was the fucking dog. That shit had me fucked up. That rotation had me fucked up. And then it was the killer on the loose. Person, I was just like, yo, he's taking a long time to close this door. Like this shit had me really fucked up. So like I just want to say, like, I really fuck with what you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
thanks, man.
Keep doing your thing, bro.
Thanks, man.
Please tap in, let everybody know where they can watch those cartoons, where they can listen to your music, and where they can follow you on social media.
So, first of all, I want to please subscribe to J The Protagonist, man. I'm on YouTube, man. My music is on all platforms. Watch the cartoons, man. They dope. I got plenty of them. I got plenty more music coming. And I'm glad you asked, because I'm actually dropping a tape December 12th, man. It's called Good as Gold. Probably the best work I ever did, man. I got one of my homies from the Hilt on 4 of them songs. It's 40 minutes of music, 13 songs. It's dope. It's probably the best thing I ever wrote. And I swear, man, it's fucking shit goes, man. I can't wait for people to hear it. It's called Good as Gold, December 12th. J The Protagonist. YouTube, Spotify, all that shit, man. That's where we at with it. Appreciate it.
Already, man. Already. And make sure I tag all his information. I put all that down in the description below. Make sure that y'all tap in. Hey, once again, man, thank you for, the patience making this shit work. Got you on here, man. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the whole Hilt. Shout out to your lady. I heard you mention her. Shout out to, moms, dads, everybody, what I'm saying. Keep doing your thing, bro, and keep your head up for real, man. Shit's gonna get better.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Already, man. Thank you. For sure. And everybody watching, KlueDaDon, Kountry Fan Mail Podcast. We out this motherfucker.